Good morning, you're watching Breakfast with Charlie State and Naga Munchetty.
Let's have a look at what's coming up on Breakfast.
It's just after 6:30 now. Jane has all the sport.
36 is the time now, so let's focus on our main story this morning. From July the 19th, anyone in England who's double jabbed can travel to an amber list country without having to quarantine when they get back.
We can talk more about this with one of our regular GPs.
6:43 is the time now, so Matt can join us as we look out of the 6:46 time now. 50,000 buildings are knocked down in the UK every year and then replaced by new, more eco-friendly homes and offices.
The Royal Institute of British Architects is calling for an end to this kind of demolition because it doesn't take into account the energy that was used to create the bricks, concrete and steel in the first place. Our environment correspondent Roger Harrabin explains.
There's some good scenes, aren't
which
there?
is your favourite? It really wasn't that difficult.
I'm not going to answer that because I think the thing is, when you see all those scenes, the people seeing them, it's a moment in time, isn't it? If you were any of those places, that would be your favourite. If that was a moment in time, that would be
if all three were to play in the same place, which would be your favourite?
No, it'll obviously be the one by Atomic Kitten, won't it? Because we're speaking to Natalie Hamilton later on this morning, just after 8 o'clock. Here on Breakfast.
That should be fun. 8 minutes to 7 is the time. A 98-year-old British woman has been awarded France's highest honour for her top-secret wartime work.
Betty Webb was stationed at Bletchley Park during the Second World War, decrypting enemy messages. She's now received the Legion d'Honneur for her services, as Joan Whittle reports.
That is an
fantastic story. Betty, 98 years old, with those reminiscences and that award so richly deserved. Fantastic.
Impressive woman, isn't she?
Really?
Really impressive. At 7:30, we're going to be talking to the Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps. Of course, lots of changes after the travel announcements yesterday. Of course, that now if you come back from an amber-listed country, you won't need to isolate, of course, particularly for those who are double jabbed, who are double vaccinated. What are your questions? You heard the announcement yesterday. What are your questions? Get them in. You can email us at BBC. You can get in touch on Twitter at BBC Breakfast. You can email us as well, bbcbreakfast@bbc.co.uk.
Yeah, it's quite a complicated picture. People are trying to navigate their way, literally, around what they might try and do holiday-wise.
And where you can get PCR tests, how much it might add to the cost of your travel, but perhaps you feel it's opened up, it's about time. Let us know. It is time to find out what's happening in terms of news, travel and weather, wherever you are.
Is reporting a huge surge in demand for flights and holidays after the government announced changes to quarantine rules.
In 10 days, anyone in England who's double jabbed can visit an amber list country without having to self-isolate when they return. The easing of restrictions is expected to result in a big boost for the travel industry, as our correspondent Aruna Iyengar reports. We'll be talking more about this in about 25 minutes with the Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps. That's at 7:30.
The NHS COVID app for England and Wales could be updated to make it less sensitive.
In the last week of June, more than 300,000 people were pinged and asked to self-isolate. Let's talk about this with our political correspondent.
6 minutes past 7 is the time now. Let's take a moment and have a look at the weather. Matt's got all the details for us.
For good reason as well. I mean, forget the fact that England's in the final. We're in the final. Then
renaming. So, Tommy, tell us about the scene. How's it working out for the final? What's going to be happening in your household?
Really? Thank you. Bye. So many people. No one's going to object to hearing that song over the next few days.
And I suspect
Monday,
over the next couple of days, that people just bursting into song, that's going to happen quite a bit.
Yeah.
So let's just get used to it. It's going to happen.
Right. 17 minutes past 7 is the time. Frontline care workers supporting elderly or disabled people in England need equivalent skills to teaching assistants and police community support officers. However, they're paid £7,000 a year less. This is according to research by Integrated Community Care.
The charity says underfunding makes it difficult to recruit staff, and the government says it will publish plans to reform adult social care by the end of the year. Here's our social affairs correspondent, Alison Holt.